Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to be creating this fun and awesome look. How did Elizabeth get this long, luscious, straight hair? Well, if you want to know, stay tuned because you're in the right place. I'm going to show you guys how I got this look. Okay, you guys, so the first step, you want to make sure you go ahead and have hair that is washed. I washed my hair this morning and I did not blow dry it, but it is completely dry. So that's the first thing you want to make sure your hair is washed and it is completely dry. If you have somewhere that you want to be tonight and you have to just wash it and you're in a rush, go ahead and blow dry it, and then once your hair is dry, you follow these steps. Before I put any heat on my hair, I like to make sure that it's protected. And today we are going to be using Thermal Creations. It's from Tresemme. It's a heat taming leave-in spray, making sure that your hair is protected and not damaged. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this from the root of your head to the tip of your head evenly. Go ahead and make sure you get those tips very well. So the next step you wanna do once you have your heat protector in is you wanna go ahead and part your hair. You're gonna go ahead and get your two scrunchies that you have. You can use clips or anything that works for you. I just find this to be the easiest for me. So I always work from down up. So what I like to do is I get two fingers and I go ahead and put them by the top of my ears, and I just go ahead and cut while I'm parting. And I go ahead and separate it like that. I go ahead and pick up the first piece of hair and you're just gonna tie that up into a bun. Okay, you guys, now that your hair is parted, we're gonna go ahead and part this down the middle. Like that. And I bring it straight through the front. Okay, you wanna go ahead and turn your iron on. Some irons will turn on in 5 seconds and they will be ready to go. I had my iron on a little earlier, so it is still a little hot. And now that it's turned on, it will already start getting heated up and ready to work. I find it easiest to do this in front of a mirror. So if you have a mirror at home, whatever kind of mirror you have, I find it easiest to just look at myself so I can know what pieces I need more help on. I find it easier if I do have a brush with me. I'd highly recommend having a brush. Any brush could work. So just go ahead and brush your hair. The iron is nice and hot and it's ready to work. So once we have it parted to the front, what we're gonna wanna do is go ahead and cut between right here. And this amount of hair is what you're gonna work on. The rest you want it out of your face, and you're just gonna go ahead and get a little clip and clip it to the front. And this is what we're working on. Go ahead and put the hair on the iron. I like to personally take my brush and follow along with it. It just makes it easier for me. Now we can go ahead and let go of this clip and do the same thing. Alright guys, so we got one little side done. I personally like to go ahead and get my iron and follow through just to make sure if I missed anything, I can go ahead and get it this time around. Do the same exact thing to the other side. Now we're gonna do the same thing to the top of the head that we did to the bottom of that. We're gonna go ahead and part it. So I like to put a finger down the middle, find that middle half. Now this is the side I'm gonna work on first. So I put this one down and I'll put this one back up. Now we're gonna go ahead and part this so we can work on a smaller section. So do the same thing with your finger. Just go ahead and part it. And we'll put the other half away to work on after. Same thing that we did to the bottom, we're gonna do right over here. I do, when I do like to iron away from my face. It's just something that somebody said to me one day is like always iron away, and I've just kind of gotten in the habit of always doing it. This is what I mean by that. Like, instead of ironing straight down, I iron like this. So just like that. So that the heat can travel up and makes my hair less hot. We're gonna move on to the next section. So for the baby hairs, what I like to do is I just go ahead and push this hair out of the way, and I grab it like this. I get two of my fingers like if they were scissors, and I pull alongside like that. And I'll hold it. I'm gonna get the iron and clamp right on there and just pull it all the way down. When I do it, I kind of like to give it a curve. Second section of the top of the head, same thing, bring it down. My hair smells so good. I'm doing the same thing. Now I'm gonna part my hair from here across here. So I'm working on the lower section of the hair. And we're just gonna go ahead and clip this to the side. You can always go ahead and curve the iron, whichever form you kind of want to give it. I like to curve mine in because I like my hair with a lot of volume. Once I get to the bottom, I start moving the iron, which is just slightly turning my wrist in, so I can give it that little oomph at the bottom. You can part it any way you'd like. I just always like to constantly keep parting it into different sides. It just makes it easier when you're working with less hair. Got this whole side of our hair done. I'm gonna go ahead with the iron and just follow through. Make sure that all those pieces are nice and straight, especially at the top. Go ahead and fast forward through this side. Doing the same exact thing that we did on this side. We're just gonna go ahead and do the same thing to this side. Pretty simple, let's do it. Now, if you don't like working with small pieces, it's okay to work with larger pieces. You're just gonna have to go through it a lot more times. If I'm in a rush, sometimes I will go with the larger pieces. So I'm just gonna show you what to do when you have larger pieces. For example, this piece of hair is a lot larger. So it's okay for me to just, make sure I have my brush and I'm following through. I'm just gonna have to go probably a couple more times than I would have to with smaller strands. And when you are going down with larger pieces, just make sure you take a little longer. You need a lot more heat, so you have to go down a lot slower. So we have made it all the way to my bangs. So I'll go ahead and just, like I said, go through the top. Make sure everything is looking nice and straight. And let's bring those bangs to the front. And I like to curve the iron in a little bit. And then I'll do the same thing, but do it backwards. And then brush it through like that. Right, there you go, guys. Hair is all straightened. I'm gonna go ahead and brush it through one more time. This is just to make sure I don't have any knots. Ironing is done, so make sure you turn your iron off. My next step is I like to go ahead and put some oil on my hair. It doesn't really matter what oil you use. I'm just using this one because this is the one that's in the house at the moment. You're gonna go ahead and put at least like a dime size of oil into your palm. And you're gonna go ahead and rub that in to your hands really well. Just in case you have too much oil. It smells so good. Okay, so I'm gonna take my first hand and start applying just to my bottom. Just to the tips, work it in there really nice and well. Turn your hair around, do the same thing. Work it in really well. This is gonna give it some shine, but it's also gonna be great for frizz. Now, the reason I start with one hand only is just in case that this one hand gave enough oil. I don't need to go for the second hand because sometimes you can put too much oil and then your hair will look greasy and you're gonna wanna wash your hair again because it's like, why did I even put so much oil? My hair looks dirty now. So I don't have enough oil because I need to go ahead and put some on the top and in my bangs so I can go ahead and rub my hands together one more time and just use one more hand. I don't have that much oil in this hand, so now I can go ahead and just follow through, and I work towards more my ends anyways. I try to stay away from the top of my head just because exactly, like if you have too much oil on the top of your head, it looks dirty. So that goes and makes it silky, smooth, and shiny. And my last step is I always like to go ahead and put some hairspray in. The reason I like to put hairspray is because hairspray is an anti-frizz and it's gonna kind of hold your hair in lock in whatever style you form it in. So I just go ahead and put the hairspray bottle really far away. And I just go ahead and brush it down while I'm doing that. And with my bangs, I kind of like to, you know, give it some volume. So I'll go like that to it and brush it through. And there you have it, guys. And there you have it, guys. That is how I like to straighten my hair. If you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and like it for more videos coming your way. I'm gonna try to give you guys a lot of different kind of videos, whether it's funny videos, whether it's beauty, fitness, acting, or motivational speaking, whatever else comes into my life, I'm gonna go ahead and share that with you guys because I think that sharing is the best thing that you can do for yourself. It's a form of therapy for me, so I hope you guys find it to share your gifts in life and to not keep all your secrets to yourself, because when you're sharing, you're spreading love. If you guys have any questions further on what I like to do or any tips and tricks that's specific to your hair, whether you have curly hair or you just need some help, just let me know and I would love to help you guys out. I hope